This is a session on how to prepare in your last minutes for your CUCET exam in biology. Especially, we are focusing here on biology. We will discuss some of the important topics in the biology and how to crack CUCET 2021. Why Central University? So we had seen this from even from the starting. What are some of the advantages that we are getting when we are in a Central University? So we have many Central Universities, and this year the exam is for 12 Central University. And when you are in a Central University, you are getting more exposure and opportunities, and the lab facilities are very good. You'll get access to a central library with more than 3,000 books, and the lab facilities are really good. The instrumentation and all those chemicals available are really up to date. You can get the best results from your laboratories, and you are also getting a better opportunity to study in a environmental friendly diversity. These are some of the advantages that you can get in a central university. And talking about the faculties, they are really awesome, and they are all PhD holders, and they can do their best to teach you well. And talking about the biology courses, especially the integrated MSCs, they are offered in Central University of Tamil Nadu. There is an integrated MSc program in life sciences, and in Central University of Jammu Kashmir, there is integrated BSc MSc programs in botany and zoology. And Central University of Kashmir, there is integrated MSc in zoology and biotechnology. And finally, in Rajasthan University, you will get integrated MSc in biochemistry, biotechnology, and microbiology. This year it is for 12 universities in India, central universities in India. It is a national level entrance exam, and this exam has already started for the PG students, and there was a little change in the date, so that the UG exams will be conducting on the 23rd of the September this month. And the exams are all objective type with multiple choice questions, and the medium of paper will be English. And this year it will be an online exam, that is a computer based exam with a 120 minutes, that is almost 2 hours of time. So looking into your exam pattern, you'll be having 100 questions for 2 hours time, and the question paper will be divided into part A and part B. So in part A, there is a general awareness, includes the questions include general awareness, general English, mathematical aptitude, analytical skills, all for 25 questions. For 25 questions will be there in part A. And in part B, it is 75 questions, and this is the subject specific questions. So here in part B, you'll be having physics and chemistry really compulsory, and since it is biology, I'm talking in relation to this biology. You have to go for biology. The option is either mathematics or biology. So 25 questions each from physics, chemistry, or mathematics and biology. You can go for if you are aiming for the biology what exam. So you have to go for PCB. Okay, physics, chemistry, and biology. And the marking system is 4 marks is awarded for each correct answer, and there is a negative marking. 1 mark is as negative marking is also there, so you have to be very careful while attending the question. And no calculators are allowed, so you have to do all the calculations by yourself. Okay. And this year it is a the percentile scores. Okay, it is based on the relative performance of those people appeared in that examination, and basically the marks obtained are transformed into a scale from 100 to 0, and the percentile scores will be calculated up to 7 decimal places. Avoid bunching effect and reducing ties. So in biology, it is coming in the part B, and it is compulsory. So because you are a biology aspirants, okay. So it consists of 25 questions, and this year you can expect the concept mixed questions. Okay, so you may have to apply both genetics and physiology in some question. Okay, so since it is conducted by NTA this year, you have to expect all those questions, and the difficulty level may increase. And the questions will be based on NCRT, but we can tell whether it will be only from this NCRT. There will be ideas in NCRT, but you have to expect that the questions will be having a difficult. There is an increase in the difficulty level. Okay. So in preparation, one of the important things is you have to understand the concept very well, Okay, the physiology part or whatever it is, you have to understand the concept really well. If there are formulas, be thorough with the formulas, be thorough with each and every terminologies. There are different medical terminologies in the biology, so you have to be very thorough with that, and never misspell them. Okay, be thorough with the spelling of different terminologies, and you have to understand the concept very well, the different mechanisms of what is happening in photosynthesis, and what are the different steps happening there in glycolysis, what are the different steps and what are the different enzymes involved at each step, what is happening, what product you are getting when a substrate is acted upon by a particular enzyme, what is the product you are getting, and there may be also some byproducts. So we have to expect all those questions also this year. Okay, and preparation for part A is really important because you are getting almost 25 marks, almost 25 questions you are getting in part A. So it is really important for preparing that part A too. But it will be simple only. Don't be afraid hearing that it will be difficult, but you can attend the questions. Okay, and you can refer the previous year questions also, but better for getting an idea, you can refer to this year's ICAR, UOH and NEET exams. Okay, so you'll get an idea how the NTA is putting the questions. Okay, this year biology questions, you can see how they had given the questions, and what type of questions you can expect this year. So you'll get an idea when you look into the question papers of this 2021, and you can practice those questions also. So you'll get an idea, and you can know what are some of the topics they are focusing on. Then go for revision. This is the time for revision. Don't go for studying any of the new topics. Okay, this is the only time for revision. You have another 3 days for your preparation, so don't study any new topics, revise whatever you had learned. Okay, then don't skip important chapters. Okay, some of the chapters are really important when talking about the physics. I think the magnetism, then waves and all are really important chapters, and in what chemistry, the organic chemistry. Okay, the different name reactions like the Cannizzaro reactions or aldol condensation, whatever it is, all those are really important. Never skip them. Okay, you have to know what are the reactants and what are the products in those steps. And while coming to physics, this time you can expect some of the what calculations. Okay, so be thorough with the calculations, with the point systems. Never get confused with that. Okay, be thorough with all those important chapters. And in biology also, I can tell that genetics, there will be some questions from genetics, that is really important. And also in physiology also, you can expect some of the good questions from this units. And time management, this time we can't tell you that you will get enough time, but it is up to you. Okay, if you can do the best in the given time, it is up to you. You have to manage your time really well. So you have to attend different mock tests. Okay, mock tests are available, you can go for different mock tests, and so that you will get an idea how to divide your time accordingly. Okay, where you have to invest more time and where you have to go in a rush. Okay, then work on your weak points. So if time is your problem, then practice the questions within time, then you can develop that time management skill. And if you have a problem in understanding the question, try reading each question really well, so that you can attend the questions, and you can also go for different options. Okay, so while looking into just at a glance, you cannot get the question and the option. Okay, so you have to read the question very well, then only you can go for reading the options. Okay, so work on your weak points so that you will get much more idea on how to attempt the exam. And coming to the syllabus, this is the syllabus of biology. You will have a syllabus in physics and chemistry. So in physics, you will be having motion in one dimension, then two-dimensional motion, then you have waves and magnetism. So all those are there. And in chemistry, you have inorganic and organic chemistry. So in inorganic chemistry, there are many calculations. Never confuse with each and every formulas. The formula should be very thorough with you. And in the organic chemistry, the name reactions. Okay, never confuse the name reactions. Each and every reaction, where what is the substrate and where it is applied, you have to be very thorough with each and every name reactions in the organic chemistry. Now coming to the biology, You have origin of life, organic evolution, and mechanism of organic evolution. These are all on the basis of evolution and origin of life. So how the life had originated on Earth. So you have different theories like the operant theory, Miller's experiment, very important in that unit. Then mechanisms of evolution and all. You have Darwinism, Lamarckism, then speciation. Okay, different types of speciation. You have allopatric, sympatric speciation. Then you can go for human evolution, the different stages in human evolution. Then the different theories on how Earth is originated. Okay, so all these theories and all you can look in this unit in the origin of life and evolution. Then coming to human genetics, it is really important. In this unit, you are going to learn how a protein is synthesized in the body. So you have three different steps: replication, transcription, and translation. And after translation, the protein is going to be synthesized, and there are many steps in between happening, different enzymes acting upon and different factors helping in this processes. So you have to know how it is happening and the different codons. So codons are three different amino acid base pairs. Okay, so different codons and what they are coding for. So you have 64 codons in total, and how they are coding for different different amino acids, and how you are getting a protein. So all those are coming in this human genetics unit. And in applied biology, you have your biodiversity, all those endangered species. So how you are going to protect the endangered species. So you have in situ and ex situ conservation. You have different national parks, bioreserves, and wildlife sanctuaries. So you have to know at least the names of the national parks and biosphere reserves in India, so that you can expect at least one question from that unit. And the human population, how the population is being affected due to the scarcity of the products like the water or the air, how we are suffering with the population explosion, and what are the measures taken for controlling the population. All those are coming in this applied biology. And you also have biotechnology. So if we are preparing the modified animals, genetically modified animals are available today. And also the scope of this biotechnology is emerging day by day. You have test tube babies, then different practices for preventing the genetic disorders. So all those are coming under this biotechnology. They all fall under the category of this applied biology. Then in mammalian anatomy, so we have the anatomy of a reproductive system. So male and female reproductive system. You have to know which are the organs present and how the gametogenesis is happening. Okay, in male and female, how it is happening, what is the differences, and where the meiosis is happening, where the mitosis is happening. It is really important. And also you can look for the reproductive health. Here you can also go for reproductive health. So you have family planning, then different types of contraceptive methods, and infertility, and how to treat infertility. Different methods are available today. So all those are given in your NCRT. You can refer them. And the animal physiology. So the physiology part is really important, whether it is animal or plant. The physiology is really important. So in animal physiology, you have circulation. So when the name circulation you are hearing, the picture should be that of your heart. Okay, the picture of heart should be there in your mind. Okay, from where to where the blood is flowing, and what are the what mechanisms happening in the cardiac cycle. Okay, which are the organs taking part in the circulation, the systemic circulation, the pulmonary circulation, and where the particles are exchanged, that is your oxygen transportation, where it is happening, the carbon dioxide transportation, and how it is happening. So all those you have to know in the circulation unit. Then in the nervous system, you have to know the structure of your neuron and the glial cells or the supporting cells, and the impulse transmission. Okay, the impulse transmission across the synapse. You have chemical synapses and electrical synapses, how it is happening, and different parts of your brain. Then also you have I think the vision and hearing. Okay, auditory, your ears, the part of your eyes, and how you are able to see the things. So the mechanism of vision and mechanism of hearing, that is also really important. Then and the respiration, how the air is getting in and out. What are the muscles helping for that, and the importance of diaphragm, lungs in your body. All those you have to know. Then in physiology, you have digestion, really important. So in digestion, one of the important topic is liver. Okay, so you have to know what are the secretions of liver and also the different parts of your intestine. The small intestine and large intestine you have, and different enzymes secreted, and the substrate upon which the enzyme is acting, and different hormones. Okay, the digestive hormones. All those you have to know in this digestion. And you also have excretion there. So in excretion, you have to know the structure of a kidney, okay, the anatomy of a kidney, and the parts of a nephron, how the urine is formed, what is the mechanism happening in the concentration of the urine. So you have the countercurrent mechanism. So you have to know where and how it is happening. Okay, which are the two tubes that is running parallel for concentrating the urine. All this you have to know in excretory system. So that is in the animal physiology. And you also have to know the difference between a plant cell and animal cell. Okay, how they are different and how they are similar. Okay, and also you have classifications of animal kingdom and plant kingdom. So in animal kingdom, the broad classification, chordates and non-chordates, one with a prominent notochord and the other without a notochord. So in non-chordata, you have 10 different phyla, starting from the porifera ending till the hemichordata. Then in the chordates, you have further classifications, urochordata, cephalochordata, and vertebrata. And how the vertebrata is again classified. So you have Gnatostomata and Ignatha, and the Agnatha is having Cyclostomata as a class. Then in the Gnatostomata, it is having a superclass species and Tetrapoda, and how it is further classified, the different examples and the types of excretory system, digestive system present in each of this phyla. Everything you have to know in animal kingdom classification. Then in the plant kingdom classification also you have to know the classification Thallophyta, that is your alga, different types of alga, their stored food and the pigment present in them. Then you have bryophytes and pteridophytes, their peculiar features, the examples and their life cycle, and the gymnosperms and angiosperms. How a gymnosperm is going to be different from an angiosperm, their examples and the peculiar features. So all this you have to know in the plant kingdom classification. Then plant cell, okay, you have to know the structure of a plant cell and what are the different organelles present in them. Here you have also this what cellular organelles and also cell division. How and when the cell division is happening, what are the factors helping in the cell division, all those. And in ecology and ecosystem, here you have different animal plant interactions or plant plant interactions between organism like the mutualism. You have lichens, then amensalism, commensalism, all those. And also you have different pyramids. Okay, the pyramid of number, pyramid of biomass, that can be upright and also inverted. But in the case of pyramid of energy, it is always upright. The important point to remember there. Then the species interactions you have to know, and there is a different laws and formulas there for the species area relationship and also for the population diversity. You have some formulas and examples given there. So all those you have to be very thorough with. Then coming to this genetics, it is the Mendelian genetics. Okay, so in Mendelian genetics you have to know what are the 7 different factors that Mendel had chosen, and what are the 3 different laws that Mendel proposed, and the different types of crows, monohybrid crows and dihybrid crows. All those you have to know. And the chromosomal abnormalities, really important. You will get at least one question from that part, any one of the abnormality you may get. So you have Down syndrome, Turner syndrome, and Klinefelter syndrome in your book. So you can go for how it is happening, whether it is autosomal recessive or it is autosomal dominant or it is related to sex chromosome. All those you have to know in this chromosomal abnormalities. Then seeds in angiospermic plants. So you have to know the structure of an embryo sac. What are the features of an embryo sac? What are they present in the embryo sac? Then embryogenesis. Then what happens after fertilization? What happens to the seed? So what happens to the ovule? So the ovule will become the seed, and the ovary will become a fruit. Then in plant tissue, so plant tissues are broadly divided into two, meristematic and permanent tissue. So it is due to the presence of this meristematic tissue, the plants are going to grow their lifelong, but the animals cannot. Okay, this meristematic tissue is enabling the plant to grow till their lifespan, and the classification or the permanent tissue are broadly classified into parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. They have different functions there, and you have primary growth and secondary growth in dicot plants, and you have to see, and also the difference between the anatomy of plant. You have to see the difference between the anatomy of a monocot root and a dicot root, monocot stem and dicot stem, and the leaves also. Okay, monocot leaf and a dicot leaf, how they are different. Then in the morphology of plant, that is also really important. You have different terminologies there in morphology of plant. Many terminologies are there. So here you will see what are the features, or what are those parts present in a plant. So leaves, how it is arranged, the phyllotaxy of the leaf. Then how the petals and sepals are arranged. The aestivation. What is the aestivation for a particular flower? There are different types of aestivation. Then the placentation, that is the presence or the arrangement of the ovules. Then different whorls of a flower, that is petals, sepals, then female part and the male part, pistils, carpels, all those you have to know. And there are also modifications for the stem, leaves, and roots, so you have to know them. Then you have also the difference between a monocot seed and a dicot seed. So all those are coming under in the morphology unit. Then some important phyla are given, that is the algae, then fungi also. You have I had given the classification. Okay, in the NCERT you have a broad classification of the kingdoms. Okay, different kingdoms, kingdom Monera, Protista, all those classifications are also really important. You have to look into the differences and similarities. Okay, don't go for only difference or only for similarity. You have to see why two kingdoms are different, what make them different, and what are the similar between them. Okay, in the evolutionary basis you may get what is the similarity between these two kingdoms. Okay, so you have to look into all those. And finally the plant physiology, photosynthesis, different processes happening in the light reactions, in the dark reactions, C4 cycle, C3 cycles, very important. Then when it comes to respiration, glycolysis, Krebs cycle, ETS, that is your electron transport system. Then transpiration, how the transpiration is happening. Okay, how the water is lost from the plants. Then translocation, the food transport through the phloem, and the water movement through the xylem, all those are coming there. And in the phytohormones you have the different hormones that is present in the plants, auxins, gibberellins, cytokines, then abscisic acid and ethylene. So all those are coming under this phytohormones. So this is the syllabus for biology in the CUCT exam. And some of the tips I want to give you is revise the formulas day before exam. Okay, day before exam you should be really calm and quiet. Don't do any other activities. Your aim is to revise the entire thing. Okay, don't be too nervous thinking about the exam. Everything will be fine. So revise the formulas just the day before the exam, and at the exam center only attempt the questions that you're really confident. Okay, avoid negative marks to your maximum. Only take the questions that you're really confident. Okay, then try to attempt a maximum mock test so that you can get an idea on the time management, and also you'll have a chance to look into the questions, or what are the different questions you can expect in the exams. Then proper sleep is required the day before exam. Don't avoid your sleep. Okay, no sleepless nights are required. Go for proper sleep, drink much water. You should be very healthy also for the exam. Then be calm and relaxed while reading the question paper. Okay, that is really important. Read the questions and options carefully. Avoid negative mark and avoid studying new topics. Then some of the important instructions are: be on time at the exam center. Never give a chance for you being a latecomer. Okay, be there at time and carry your admit card and undertaking, and also a valid ID proof. Now that's it. So I think the things are clear. Okay, prepare well, and I wish you a very good luck.